we are working a lot to prepare to this grand final. A lot of training, hard training, and we feel ourselves well prepared. We don't have weakness. All our side is strong. Our goal to be the best team in the world, and we are satisfied by only first place. Due to trainings, we prepare a lot of tactics and tricks that we will show in the game. The worst opponent for us is Navi, and school bus team pretty strong.
From hell with love.
They feel that Navi's pretty strong.
It's an understatement if ever I've heard one.
They are confident. I think every word they said was like, we're perfect, we have no flaws, no weaknesses, we're going to destroy everybody. I guess we're kind of worried about Navi and School Bus, they're okay.
They're out to take their crown. They're out to take Navi's crown. They want to be the winners and also the best within their region, don't they?
Region, the world. They want to do everything.
But there's also going to be, fair enough, the world, but I think, you know, the Russians are their own community, you know, they like to think as well that our region is the best, you know, and so if they can prove it there as well, I think being inside their region with Navi.
Okay, well, actually, we have no time. The game has already started. We're going to go and see Arete versus Hellraisers.
My word, they've taken an artillery.
We are going to see an artillery on Diador. I'm so surprised to see him on that. But Hellraisers, look at their lineup.
They're taking a mixed match here. They've got a 1390, they've got a Speerpanzer, they've got 4 T-54 lightweights. We seem to be seeing a pattern here. Whereas we have Arete having 5 T-54 lightweights, and that's 2 Walker Bulldogs, right?
Yep, and this is the T-54 lightweight overmatch, right? We are seeing an RU for the first time on EU,
seeing a fight in the magical, mystical woods. Look at this, 2 teams charge.
I think it's Arete doing the charging. They're meant to be the defenders right now, but they're going to come round. Nesquiz's getting focused. He's down to a 2 shots. Artur and Christina go for the rams. No, they missed it. Kyle Steve gets the shot though. Make sure he takes it out. Christina's down, very low. He's got to get out of there. But look, this is a mess. Everyone is dying everywhere. This is a rumble in the Magic Forest. And who's going to come out on top? That's anybody's guess. It looks like Hellraisers are raising the hell. Near-U's on 2 shots, but 1,198 double hit from the RU and T-54. What focus.
They just got out-brawled. There's nothing. Arete pushed the tempo, and Hellraisers just outplayed them.
Oh, yeah.
How long was that game? Was that a minute?
I think that, not even that. Was it 30 seconds? I thought it was 30 seconds.
They got stuck in.
We tell you about all the tanks. They had a really good lineup on School Bus. They had the artillery. They had the RU. Arete took no time into just charging into them. They were the defenders. Arete was defending. What were they thinking? Can you explain why they just went, you know what, we're defending, we're going to attack, and then completely die?
I guess maybe they felt the pressure. They have to win this.
They do.
Maybe they were feeling that they could take a team that was playing for the first time as well in this competition. Yes?
Yes.
That was their first game?
I think so,
Whereas
yes,
Arete had just already played like a best of 9 previously.
All right, so let's go and actually see what Arete is like. We've heard a lot about them, so let's see. They've got 4 maps left. What's Arete?
Definitely, all the teams are very strong, but our biggest rival is Elon from Asia. We have a big confidence because many people thought our team is underdog, and so we don't have any pressure, and so this is our big advantage and aspect of good. Definitely, our goal is to take this winner for in this grand final. But first of all, we have to pass the group stage tomorrow. Yeah.
Arete!
maybe we're seeing a little bit into what's happening here. They seem awfully relaxed about, we got no pressure, we don't have to do well. Really didn't expect that from the South Korean team.
I think they want to put on a show, and I think that you can say that they're not feeling the pressure, but they will be feeling it now that they're already one down in this series, and this is the game for them to stay in.
4 more losses, and
That's
they
it.
are gone.
They're going home.
Out of the Grand Finals, the first team to be gone. They would be the first team.
In the group stages.
Ouch. They played 2 games in a row, the first 2 games. I think they would be literally the first team knocked out. That's not a good name to have.
No.
We're going to see how they put up a fight. They've got to defend again. Let's see if they actually defend this time.
Although I think that taking the initiative and putting pressure on your opponents, even if you're meant to be defending,
Yeah.
it can give you the advantage as well.
Of course it can. You take control. But it's still a case of usually...
Use that advantage.
You usually feel out the enemy, what they're doing, where they're going, and then play with that decision.
Yeah.
Instead of just going, you know what, let's just go up the side of the map and run into the enemy and shoot them.
That's what but as I was hinting before they put on the hype video again, because I think they had that experience from that first game, they thought the Hellraisers might be a little nervous in their first game and thought maybe we can catch them unaware. But they certainly did not catch them unaware here in the woods of Moravanka. They were prepared.
It was disaster. I mean, did you see the 1,148 shots combined between 3 tanks?
And the Rams as well.
1, 2, 3, 1,198. That's a lot of damage to get out when only 3 tanks are firing.
Didn't they also have an artillery on their team?
I think that could have hit him as well at the same team.
Why would you attack if you had an artillery on your team? Hold on. Well, the artillery was on the defending
attacker's team. No, the attacker team had the artillery because they expected the defenders to stay defending.
So that's why they did it.
That's
why they did it.
But it didn't work. And I don't know. It's one of those situations where Arete are in a bad situation. They might be making irrational decisions or rushing to results. As you said earlier, I don't want to feel the pressure, but they might be feeling the pressure. So, what do you think so far of Arete's performance? You saw them on stage against the Kazna group. How do you think they're playing wrong? What do you think's going wrong for them?
Gosh, well, if I'm honest, I only caught about 1 game because we were casting during Arete's previous performance against Kazna crew. There, I think they just rushed in. I can see what they were doing with the artillery play. Obviously very aggressive. But they just didn't quite pull it through. I didn't like the way that they sent their Walker Bulldog in first. I thought that they would have sent in the T-54 lightweight, had the Walker Bulldog, a tank with great damage potential with that autoloader, but not very much armor, and a much lower rate tank in second. They could have had him working the gun depression. He literally just went in first around the corner, got obliterated, a complete waste of a very important tank.
Maybe they just didn't expect any tanks there. Were they actually trying to do what I've seen before? They've come around the top, the defenders, and actually approached the attackers from behind who are meant to be assaulting the other side.
Could be.
Are we just waiting there?
It could be.
Right, well, Arete on their last legs, maybe. Let's see their second defense right here, right now.
It's
Arete,
early days. It's early days.
luck.
Only 1-0. That's fine. So we're seeing a similar kind of setup. 4 T-54 lightweights, the Speerpanzer and the 1390, and another artillery on Hellraiser's side. Remember, Hellraisers are defending again. Let's see if Arete are going to play aggressively. They're both going into the woods of Moravanka again, some fantastic and ridge lines that you can hide behind, so it's no wonder that both teams are trying to fight for supremacy in the eastern part of the map.
It's one of those situations where are they double bluffing? It's like, Hellraisers, let's just set up and wait for them to do what they're going to do again.
Some good bush mechanics here by the 1390.
My god, what a spot from Lucic. Spots the entire enemy team. Arete also receive a hit in the meantime. And here they come right into the battle. Even for over the top, gets Alfred down. Absolutely not in the battle. Didn't get a shot off. Lucic though giving return fires. Artie Will goes past, down to a 2-shot. This is a calm play by Hellraisers. They're backing off slowly and shooting. But the focus fire from both of these teams was amazing.
They have that T-54 locked down, but can they help him out? He's now trying to run away. They've got this alleyway locked down. We can see on the roads here. The Speerpanzer's got great gun depression here, however. This is a difference between a tank with gun depression against tanks without gun depression, and he's putting round after round after round into these T-54 lightweights, and there's nothing that they can do about it. A great pick there.
A fantastic Belarusian player using that gun depression to his advantage. And that was, I think he alone just took that flank. It was 2 versus 1, and they couldn't touch him. He's still at max HP. That was a fantastic play. I didn't know that the Rue was armored enough to be able to sit in that sort of situation.
It isn't. He's just using the fact that he has to expose such a small part of his tank to evade the fire. I think it's got 10 degrees of gun depression over the side, if not 8. It's got more gun depression over the side than the front of the tank, and that's allowed them to take in a clean victory.
Wow.
We didn't see anything different there from
Nothing.
Arete. So they thought maybe it'll work the first time. Didn't work.
Double bluff, like they won't expect us to do the same thing twice.
I really wish we could see the artillery damage. I'd love to know if that artillery put in any good shots, but we can't see that.
We can't, but we can only imagine it's doing its job considering how one-sided these battles are, and it cannot be just the tanks.
I think it's just the tank
if
picks.
It is,
that
then it's
Spearpanzer
6
had a
versus 7,
fantastic
and
role in there.
well, yes. You pointed that out very nicely. Near use, angling, you got to see the slope. It looked maybe a bit shallow for you guys watching on the stream, but that was enough. His entire tank was basically a little bit. They had to take chance shots, and they did take the chance shots, and they didn't hit it. So let's have a look at Hellraiser's team sheet. Let's have a closer look at those guys. These guys have put in a great performance so far, looking very young. This one gentleman here was only speaking English earlier, only one who's out in his skin, catching the sun. 3rd rank global.
In the world.
Wasn't Arete 2nd ranked?
I can't remember exactly if Arete was 2nd ranked, but gosh, having 70% wins inside their region is so much more impressive than having, say, a 75%. Yes, this is a very good win ratio. 30% defeats in a very, very, very tough region. 91 battles played, and equally showing that they're as good at attacking as defending. So maybe we're going to see another couple of games go Hellraiser's way.
Oh, it's a disaster for Arete. I mean, I know they're in a tough group, but it's really hard for them. Really hard. They've come all this way. Although I'm not feeling so guilty now. After seeing their video, I'm not feeling that much bad for them because they were saying, okay, we've got no pressure. We've got nothing to prove. We've done our region. And I didn't feel like they wanted to be global champions. I didn't get the honey foul that from Hellraisers, absolutely.
I think they're just a bit more respectful and different mannered.
I think that may be it, actually. Koreans, I watched some other esports, and the Korean public, the stars, he's just on stage and he looks like he's reserved, like he's shy to be there.
They're just focused
and
and ready to go.
No. This was different. This was like he deliberately not energetic, deliberately calm. It's like that's what the fandom there prefers. They prefer calm personalities, where the Western market is more like, yeah, the guy who's crazy wearing the Batman mask, he's the guy that everyone goes, yeah, he's amazing, I love it. So I feel maybe you're right. Maybe there is culture to do with that. They want to be semi-reserved, like we're proud that we got here and we'll do our best, and that's it. Like anything else would be inappropriate.
I feel like what we just saw there was a fantastic by Hellraisers. I really like their setup. The fact that they took that artillery in there. It's only tier 6, so it's not like you're investing one of your tier 8s into it. Tier 6 is still quite mobile. You're able to get around, and that against a lightly armored tank is devastating if it manages to connect the shot. And it just gives them that flexibility. It basically means to the other team, you cannot sit in positions and hold your position if you take an artillery on your team.
True, but we are talking about the T-54 lightweight. You were saying how well armored it is, so...
Yeah. You're still going to lose probably about 300 to 400 hit points, which is significant considering the rate of fire.
Oh, is it quite high on that tier 6?
It's not bad. It's not bad. Pretty good.
All right, so what about them on the defense? We're going to now see them actually defending. Do you think they're going to keep the artillery, or do you think that was just for the attacking?
I don't think they're going to keep the artillery for the attack, but they might. They might play it even slower.
Right, well, now what they have, Arete are now 0-2, and they're on the attack. I'm not sure if we can tell the difference between their attack and defense.
No artillery this time.
But we will see now. So yeah, no artillery. Diodor and Montif are... Oh, wait, that's a
Hellraisers
12-ton.
are taking a 12T. AMX 12T.
They took a 12-ton AMX. Wow. I've not seen that in competitive esports, actually.
It's I guess, is an auto-loader, able to go toe-to-toe with anything, really. Still got good penetration. Gosh, T-54 up on this ridgeline, fantastic. In a little dell here on the hill. Hold down, ready to go. They're pulling back. Arete have taken an aggressive position down the west. Let's see what Hellraisers how they react to the situation. Looks like they're letting them in. They're saying, come on guys, come on. And now they seem to be closing the trap.
This formation from Hellraisers, if you don't know about the spotting mechanics in World of Tanks, the further you are away, the less chance your tank will be spotted. If you're behind bushes and you're not too close to them, when you fire, you can stay hidden. That's exactly what those 3 tanks in the south are trying to do there on Hellraiser. They're trying to be out of sight. So if the enemies come over the top, they have great positions to be able to just sit still, fully aim, and do the DPM.
Arete are just focused up on this single flank. Check out how Hellraisers spread all the way across. They're spreading out their guns, and that means that they get different angles to fire at their opponents.
There's no cover. If they came over the top right now, Arete, they are going to have attacks from many different directions, and they're not going to go. Let's look at retreat. It looks like they're all slowly withdrawing up north. Indecision, maybe. Lack of confidence.
Maybe planning a different attack. They realize the Hellraisers have taken a very strong defensive position here. Both cap circles. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to do a cap rush here. It's too late now in the game. They've kind of shown their cards. Now Hellraisers have just taken a defensive position and they're going to wait. This 12T is going to get excellent vision to spot exactly what they're doing. We see there the spotted indicators popping up on your map. The 12T has done a fantastic job of spotting the entirety of Arete as they've tried to change flanks.
He dodges the shot from Christina. Monty and that AMX 12 gun needs to run away. It's important that he survives. That gun is still able to do a bit of damage. It's no worth dying for the spot. It's good, it's useful, but if you can get out too, and he is. Monty is still at max HP. What a fantastic play.
He's fully loaded. Let's see how it goes down. The 12T is still running away, and I just feel indecisiveness here in the way that Arete are addressing this situation. They've got some vision. We can see that they're sending their T-54 lightweight in their vision. What I think they're going to try and do is to set up the glut of this T-54 lightweight towards the east and try and get vision, hopefully catching a few tanks in bushes. That's the only way really they're going to be able to do it from this flank. I can't see them playing aggressively and coming out of this without losing the majority of their hit points.
But they aren't doing quite a nice move coming around the back there to be able to get the angles and Diador. But how will Hellraisers respond? How would you respond if this situation occurred to you?
Well, Arete are going hull down. I think Hellraisers just have to hold their nerve and shoot them one by one with focus fire as they come over the ridge.
2 shots come out. Nesqui takes some damage. Leslie takes some damage, but 1 shot missed. That's 2 shots missed here. They really need to start connecting these shots.
They're up on the ridge line though. They're hull down. They're strong.
Well, that seems like they can't take advantage of it, but Bibe now in a bit of trouble as Hellraisers, but it looks like they realised that if they went over the top, they would take quite a bit of damage because Gimp is there to support. Evanfall falling back, low HP, about a third.
I like the T-37 that we can see in the northwest corner. It's got great gun depression on that, and he's preventing the T-54s from getting up on the ridgeline and exposing themselves. Otherwise, he's going to nail them in the side.
But Artie World goes down with a double tap. Super also going down. That was 2 tanks in quick succession there. Arete are losing. The HP of the bars at the top of your screen. 6,000 total HP for Hellraisers and 2,300 for Arete. It's not going well. They need to make some sort of regroup and focus their fire. But Ram play there as Bibe goes down. Gib is getting chased by Lucique. It might be too little too late. Look at that double tap as they're focusing their fire like champions. Hellraisers are really showing their stuff.
They just lost too much health and back over the ridge. The thing is that we're defending this cap. The only thing that I guess they could have done is Arete could have tried to pressure for the easternmost cap to stop Hellraisers from falling back. But if they do that, the cap circle's so open that they're just going to get sniped out anyway.
Yeah. That's the end of that. 3-0. Hellraisers are really strong right now.
They're up against the ropes.
And people there in the chat, you were saying, Arete are not bad, just Hellraisers are good. You just remember, when you're playing your random games, and it's 15 versus 15, you want to be nice, right, to each other. Remember when you lose as a team, it's not always your team's fault that they were better. You don't have to be bad to lose at something. 2 people who are expert runners, for example, one of them has to lose. Doesn't mean they're bad runners. They're still better than most people. So when you lose, sometimes it's like not sucky team. It's like, well done you guys for beating us.
They're losing.
And that's a different story. Right, let's have a look at Arete and analyze their play for the season. We can see in their region, they're super strong. These guys won almost all their games the entire season. It's a huge percentage at 87.
Wow. So there you go. The global ranked third team taking it to the global ranked 2 team now, battling for supremacy. 87% wins. We must highlight again within their region. 17% losses within their region. And they're balanced at attacking and defending, so we'll see how it goes.
Maybe because they always attack when they're on the defense. It's just the same style. It's like, hey, we don't really sit back on our defense. We take control of the map and we attack. It's exactly what you said, like taking control of the battle is the way to go. And maybe Arete's style is just that. We don't sit back, we take control of the map, or try to.
With the best of 9, first to 5 matchup, Arete really this next one, otherwise they're going to have to win 5 in a row. And that's
hard to come back from.
It's hard to come back from.
It really is. Okay, so, Quickie Baby. We know that your favorite tank of this tournament so far is the T-54 lightweight. You were super impressed.
Impact-wise, yeah.
Yeah,
it seems like that's what they're picking.
You're seeing it.
Yeah.
But what about the RU? Okay, we talked about it a little bit in the previous game about how it's got weak armor, but it's got an amazing gun depression.
Yes.
And quite high burst damage, really, per shell damage, isn't it?
Yes,
quite high.
yeah.
Reload speed also good.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they not using this tank more often then?
Because it's very lightly armored.
Super, just purely that way, that everything that touches it hurts it, and that's why it's not useful.
Basically, yeah, it's just a very fragile tank. It's just as fast as the T-54 lightweight. I'd say it's sleeker. Maybe its profile isn't quite as low, because a T-54 lightweight is very low profile.
Very low.
But it's definitely not as wide as a T-54 light. This is the gun depression over the tank is over the front is not excellent.
Yeah.
And so that means you have to get these awkward peekaboo angles. You have to come in at 45 degrees over the ridgeline, exposing the whole of your side of your tank to be able to get that shot off if you want to use the high amount of gun depression over the side that the Speerpanzer has. I think we saw Hellraisers do it perfectly. They took 1, and it provided the flexibility in the combat to be able to get those angles off and to be able to dominate an aggressive attack by Arete. So I think maybe 1 pick provides that flexibility, and I think it's very nice that we've seen the Hellraisers are using an artillery and a Speerpanzer, as well as a 3090, and then your T-54s.
Very diverse lineup. Actually, the RU was incredibly popular last season before the patch.
Yes.
And it was taken almost like the T-54 lightweight's been taken this season.
Yes.
Just because of that DPM. Now, except for those reasons, it's lightweight, so even the 12-ton will have an easy job taking damage to you. The Bulldogs, more and more of these smaller tanks are
I think the main
coming
thing,
into the battle.
The main thing is that if you fire at a T-54 lightweight with a Speerpanzer, you're not always going to penetrate it. Maybe only half your shots are going to go in, especially if you hit the turret. Whereas every single shot that hits the Speerpanzer from the T-54 lightweight is going to take it out. So unless you can use the gun depression, there's no point in it.
Well, it's currently 3-0 to Hellraisers. Arete lose 2 more games. They're out of the Grand Finals. So let's go into battle and see if they can hold it together. This is desperate from them. They really need to sort this out. They need to do something decisive and extraordinary.
Hellraisers going with a very similar defensive setup here. They've got the 12T, the Tier 6 French light tank. They've got an AMX 1390, the Speerpanzer, or lightweights. Seems like we're going to see a mirror of what we just saw. Arete are pushing aggressively down the western flank. Let's see if Hellraisers are going to get that vision up, or if Arete are just going to go all in.
It looks like it's another all-in. I mean, the previous game where they played slower, but here, Niyu's running away after trying to be in a hold-down position, but all those missed shots, not a good thing, as Artimo takes alpha strike damage from the rest of Niyu's team. But look at this play from Niyu, escaping that entire force and chasing him. How is he still alive?
Hellraisers are now going to split up, try and get some different angles on a team that is just simply rushing into them. They've got LTTBs. Haven't they? Arete have got 2 LTTBs. Wow, this is a massive brawl right here. How can the focus fire of the teams be? Well, looks like Hellraisers are focusing down on Bibe.
And Bibe's going down with 1 more shot, but it looks like they have no guns looking his direction, so they're actually going to close in now. Hellraisers on very low HP, their tanks aren't together, and all of Arete are. This might be what they're looking for.
With his last smidgen of health, he rammed a tank to death there. That was a fantastic kill. Gosh, 2 tanks left. Looking at going 4-0 now for Hellraisers.
Wow, It looks like Hellraisers have lost their first game. If he is able to be cycled out, can they do it? But Lowo's still alive. They need to get him down. It's now 3 versus 1. Full HP, but it's just a 12th ton, and he's got 1 shell left. If Monty's caught here, it looks like Arete got their first map.
I was so surprised. I thought the Hellraisers were just... I got it mixed up. Oh my word, this is a fantastic outcome. Arete pulling off their first win as they take out the AMX 12T. What a ram kill at the end.
It's not going to be a 5-0. They do get a battle back, and that's the end of Muravanka. They did get one of their defenses. I can't remember because they've always been so aggressive. Arete don't sit still. They seem to just push in together.
Looks like the aggression was the key here. The one thing that I think is that Hellraisers didn't split. They didn't split up their forces like we were seeing Na'Vi doing earlier. When we saw Na'Vi put under pressure by a focused full-on rush, they split up and they got different angles on their opponents. Felt like Hellraisers were caught there. It really did. It felt like they were just caught by a big rush and they couldn't quite get the guns in the right places.
It was quite strange, really, because Nearyu did manage to get the spot early and didn't die. He managed to get out with most of his HP still intact, and yet still Hellraisers was not able to capitalize on that. Well, I say advantage, but without losing that surprise. Arete come in, they attack, and don't gain a significant advantage from that scout that one guy's on his own. And yet they still won. All right, so next map, now Himmelstoff we haven't actually seen, and I'm looking forward to seeing if the defense is stronger on Himmelstoff. So let's take a look.
So all the stats are telling us really that Himmelsdorf is a strong map to defend upon. We can see there the 2 bases, and this is the key area for the defending team to hold. From here, they can look after both bases, and that is of utmost importance. The windows we see there might be an opportunity for tanks with great turrets to be able to defend the cap circle. The attacking team is likely to go over the hill down one of 3 linear routes. Where will the defenders choose to make their defensive play? There's
lots of plays for the defenders. Defenders on this map have so many options. With the latest patch, with 9.6, they changed Himmelstoff ever so slightly on this. They moved that cap circle that's on the left, and they moved it closer to that little tiny building. Why? So that the attackers can cap with some cover. So now it's not completely exposed.
The northern base.
Not the north base, the western base. That base there is actually able to be capped if you don't let them come around the back. So often the defenders send a force to take where your enemies spawn from. They go all the way around into the south. That way they can decap the northern base all the way from the other base and still hold this position to make sure they can't take it. We actually might see that a few times on Himmelstoff as the defenders push out and take the position or try and take the map instead of sitting back in the top left-hand corner, which is the other strategy that I commonly see for the defenders on Himmelstoff.
As far as tank selection, we're probably going to see heavier tanks now. We're likely to see IS-3s, we're likely to see 5100s, and apparently we're also hearing that there is going to be a map change. And sorry to say for all you Himmelsdorf fans out there, it's not going to be Himmelsdorf, and all of that talking is now wasted because we're going to see Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka is coming in. It's an open map, and we're going to see... we did see on the main stage people taking a lot of T-54 lightweights again, and you were saying maybe some heavy tanks here would be a good counter to this.
Well, possibly. I mean, T-54 lightweights are... I don't think they deal very well with heavies unless they literally go all in and try and outnumber them.
Yeah, it's all about positioning. But let's have a look at the map and see why positioning is so important on this open map, Prokhorovka.
So yes, we've got the center base. This is where the attackers will spawn. 2 base locations divided by the train tracks. That is of paramount importance because the defending team have to have presence on both sides of the rails, otherwise the attackers are going to be able to simply cap out. So maybe the attackers need to do a joint attack, force them into the center where they can focus their fire, or alternatively, that's what I'm hoping, we're going to see some American turreted with tanks with great gun depression holding key locations.
It's been seen, the T-32 hold that position while his teammates get into really sparse positions with cover from every angle. That's totally a valid way to do it. Will they employ this, or will Arete just take 5 or 6 T-54 lightweights and just charge at the enemy? We have seen this quite a few times from Arete so far. It's a real possibility they're going to do that again. Hellraisers, on the other hand, Artillery is a possibility, maybe. We saw them already use a very diverse selection of tanks. RUs, are they a possibility on this? Obviously, very bumpy terrain.
Possibly.
Maybe a good way to use them.
If you try and spread your tanks out, I think the RU-251 Speerpanzer should be rather good indeed, because then you can start to work some ridge lines. But if you need to go in with your friends, then you really don't want to be in that lightly armored German light tank.
Yeah. So we're going to have a skirmish. We're going to have either heavy tanks or light tanks or artillery.
Yeah.
I think we basically just said that anything could happen.
Anything can happen on Prokhorovka.
That's the good news. We've seen a lot of Russians down a little and start thinking about what they want to do. I've been a little bit disappointed. I can't say I'm not. Their play seems very brute. So let's see what the lineups are on this map and see if they've put out something different in their bag of tricks. No.
So, Hellraiser are using 2 Speerpanzers on this map and the T-32, the pick that we expected.
And now we look at Arete and we have the
LTTB.
5.
Hey, if it worked for them last game, the LTTBs are their lucky charm.
It must be.
We have those Tier 7 Soviet light tanks, very fast, able to keep up with the T-54 lightweights and have the same ethos really in their tank development. They are literally going at it. Oh my word.
Hellraisers are sitting back and going, okay, we know they're coming. We're going to sit back and actually wait for them to arrive. We're going to see it. They've all been
Goodbye,
spotted
LTTB.
now. Even Full takes 2 shots. They ram each other. Oh my God, they ram each other. Miscommunication there. How embarrassing as they take a lot of damage and almost giving none back. Monty goes down. That was their forward scout. But Christina gets knocked out. That was LTTB. One more LTTB about to go down. Even Full is out. This is a disaster.
Both LTTBs down. That is a massive disadvantage. Now they are having to play 5 versus 6 with all Tier 8 tanks.
Superpar takes 2 big hits. K-Mech still on high HP, and you did say the T-32 is rocking it at the front, taking the damage, slow but steady.
The thing is now the T-54 lightweights have stopped, and the T-32 can start to peekaboo over the ridge lines. Oh, he's taking some shots in the side there for no reason.
He pushed up too far, looking the wrong direction. Beeb and Gimp looked to the side and was able to do that damage. But is it enough? He's going to be caught out if he doesn't retreat now. He's going to be caught out by the entire T-54 team on Hellraisers.
They're in the dip. They're all together now. It's a counter-attack by Hellraisers, feeling that they have the advantage. They want to put the pressure on the enemy team. However, I think considering they had the T-32 ambitious, I think they could have slow pushed this one. They were defending. I don't feel like they needed to take this risk with the attack.
But Niyu now taking some huge damage as he gets taken out. This is actually getting equalized. Arete getting the advantage, but Gimp's getting caught out right now as the T-54s surround and conquer. RT World and Cow Thief trying to push in to get advantage, but look at the damage sharing on Hellraisers. They're all low, but they're still alive. Nesquia like 2 HP. This is good play by Hellraisers. Arete just need to finish these tanks off. Get the guns out of the battle. Nesquia goes down. Good shots from Beam. Dardo though kills Cow Thief. This could go back. This could swing back in Hellraisers' favors. Great turret.
Well, the T-32 is flanked, and gosh, this T-54 managed to find the gun depression to engage the T-32. I guess he wasn't looking. It looks like he's got a dead driver. It looks like he's got a dead gunner. That T-32 is almost already out of it. So I cannot believe that Hellraisers made such an aggressive attack when they could have defended here.
It really does seem like that is the reason. If they lose this, that is going to be the reason, but they don't know.
All in.
The K-Mix all this damage. Pick him off. There's one guy left. Diodor versus these 3. It's a possibility, but as you said, anything that hits him will do the damage. Beam survives with 5 HP left. That must be the end there.
That was... I don't know what to say, really, apart from Arete made a horrendously aggressive, reckless push into their opponents. Maybe they were just going, yeah, you can have our LTTBs, you can have our Tier 7 light tanks, saying, hey, come at us now. And the thing is that Hellraisers had no reason at all for that counterattack. None. That was a terrible call. It was a terrible call. They had a T-32 that was hull down. All they had to do was get the T-32 to poke up the ridgeline. You can't really pen a T-32's turret very reliably, especially with the very poor penetration on the APCR rounds on the T-54 lightweight. They could have just slow pushed it. Absolute reckless decision, but I'm happy for it because now it's 3-2. Fantastic. Let's go, Arete.
Causing an upset, actually, really. Yep. A lot of people said coming into this tournament, they're the ones that maybe can do this, can actually upset this. Arete, though, are saying, you know what? No, we've had enough of this. We're learning.
See, the thing is now is that Hellraisers, they might feel a little bit of insecurity in that decision, that they made. Arete, but I still feel that if they defend properly and Arete do their reckless tactic again, they're not going to make that mistake again, and they'll probably be a lot more defensive.
Morale is a thing. They could be now arguing that guy made the mistake. He's like, now why did you do that? Blah, blah, blah. They're getting their tempers flaring up. Maybe they'll lose concentration. Maybe they'll start arguing amongst themselves, stop listening to each other, stop that cooperation that makes them so strong. Anything can happen.
It's anyone's game now. I honestly thought that it was going to go 5-0. And I love this. Like, we've got a game on our hands here now. We've got a game on our hands here now.
We don't want 2 5-0s in a row. No, we want a game that can actually go either way.
I want 9-game series. That's what I want.
You do?
Yeah,
all the way.
All 9 way. Yeah.
We got a. Which one is it? It's Ruinberg for the decider map. So if you didn't know, after the 2 maps, if it's 4 each, if they switch a decider, whichever team wins an attack the fastest during that. The 8 games beforehand, gets to pick whether they want to attack or defend. And after that, we then get to see the one more battle. So there will be a decider. There's only one way I know that they can draw is if there's a double KO at the end. That's the only way they can draw it, then it's a rematch. But it's a deserved rematch.
If that happens, that would be amazing. I want to see that happen as well.
I think it's happened once.
I'm so greedy, I want it all right now.
It was a T49. Obviously fired, that the shell takes so long in the air that he got killed at the same time, and the shot landed, boom, there you go. It's a draw, the first draw that we had in this new format, and we just like everyone's just watching. I think the commentators from the main stage right now, Ollie and Pansy, they literally just like, what happens now? Is that actually a draw? Do we remake it? We didn't think about this. We didn't realize, we didn't check the rule book, and it was just a replay, but that was crazy. It can happen. It has happened, and it can happen. And you want it to happen? Maybe it will happen.
Hopefully.
T49's more.
Yeah.
We've seen one.
Well, we've seen one Cliff, and they didn't pick T49 on Cliff, did they? True. I think we only got 1 game on Cliff, didn't we? Wasn't that the second map of the previous?
Yeah, and we got
Na'Vi?
1 game of it.
We got 1
We did
game.
see a T49. Which map was that? I
can't remember. I think it was a Walker Bulldog.
We have seen a T49.
Okay.
It's been there for sure. The bit, oh no, maybe it was the artillery. But I thought, it must be Muravanka, where they were defending with artillery. They had a T49 as well, I think. I could be wrong. You guys in the chat must know. But anyway, let's go into the next battle and see exactly what happens. Can Arete make this 3 apiece?
Let's see how Hellraisers respond after that. Okay, so they're using a T-37, the Tier 6 American light tank. They've got 2 Speerpanzers. They're using a T-32 again. They're defending. They're probably going to take the same tactic. Arete just decided, okay, let's do the same thing, but let's change it to a slightly different position of the map. Are they going to turn right here? Are they going to cross roads? Are they going to cross the railroad, or are they going to go straight over and G4? Wow. LTTBs at the front, T-54s slightly lagging behind. This is a full Soviet light tank attack.
It is. It's a completely Soviet light tank attack. I've not seen this formation before until today. I've seen it a lot today, but I've not seen this composition in particular before. But it seems to be working for them, and they've taken a very particular route. They'd obviously pre-planned this. They know exactly where they're going. The opening shots are fired. Nothing connects. County takes a little bit of damage, though. This is crazy.
They've ignored the eastern cap completely, even though they knew the defenders were all the way over the west. The Hellraisers are running away from Arete. They are scared. They are running for their lives right now at these very strong Soviet light tanks just coming in behind them, wanting to take their lives away.
Christina takes very much damage, going down to 1 more shot, but Dido misses it. There is he goes. He's out. Christina is down.
They're kiting them. They're kiting them. They're just kiting them one by one.
The damage is getting shared here. There's not really much focus fire, but look at the HP at the top of your screen. Arete are losing a lot of it, and the return damage just isn't coming in. What's really well played.
They're using the gun depression that they have on the Speerpanzers. They've managed to take shots at them. They've left a lot of tanks on low health.
But we have seen Kamek and Lowood get taken out.
So are they going to send someone into the cap here and then try and force them to be aggressive against them? Probably not against Speerpanzers because of the gun depression.
But wait a minute, that 1,000 HP advantage they have, it just melted away. It's down within 200 of each other again. Arete are pulling this back. This is the whole down situation you're talking about.
This is the fact that the Speerpanzer cannot get shot in the turret by the T-54 lightweight, whereas the T-54 lightweight is very capable of bouncing the Speerpanzer. But we can see a light tank by Arete as well towards the south. I believe that must be one of their LTTBs, trying to get side shots in here.
Yeah, Cow Thief was just taken out. He was trying to get across the railways back to
Here
the other
comes the
cap zone,
counter.
but it wasn't working. Here's the counter. Arch Gibbon gets taken out. Diodor's on one more hit. Will Artie World land it? That's the question. Yes, he does, but he takes a shot in return from Nesby. That's very even HP. BB is taken out, but Lusik's down to 1 HP in the distance. Shushapa and BB is going to look. That is interesting. We've seen a massive advantage coming here for Arete. They're keeping their guns, but no, it gets evened again, and now it is 2-3. This is anyone's game. It's swinging
he
like a
completely
pendulum.
missed the ram. He's going to go down. He just got completely outplayed there by that T54 lightweight.
Nesby dodged the
Nesby
shots.
just totally outplayed and totally changed the outcome of this game by the looks of it.
Wow.
They're spreading out though, they're surrounded. They're surrounded by T54 lightweights.
It seems like Arete made one fatal mistake. It could be the end, but Nearyu gets hit in the back. Artimo gets a fantastic shot in the rear. Evanfall is falling back if they continue chasing.
He misses his second.
Ooh, Nearyu's down to one more shot. Evanfall's on the reload. Will he survive to take the shot? Will he land it? No, he doesn't. So it's 2 versus 1. Panzer RU251 and a T54 versus the T54. The HP advantage obviously is null and point. It's
Hellraisers are defending. They don't need to take this fight. They can wait for it, run away, force him to cap. They don't need to run by Nearyu into the T54 lightweight, putting him down to a one-shot.
Oh, what a shot from Nearyu. That's the end of that. Arete. Oh, so close.
It was an exciting game. I'd like these aggressive tactics.
It was a pendulum. It was like, okay, Arete are dead. They're so far behind now. Wait a minute. They're using the T54 to their full advantage. And then it came close again, even again. And then, oh no, it petered out and it failed. Oh no. And then it was like, oh wait, they got it back again. And then, oh no, Hellraisers take advantage. Oh no, they got it back again. And then, obviously, that one move where it was Nesqui dodged the ram. And
that was it. I think that Arete are showing some great team play and some synergy in their movements. But I think that then Hellraisers, at the end, when it became a skirmish, had the individual skill. And they realized they were getting dominated on the ridge lines. When both tanks are hull down, they were just, there was a 1,000 health point swing, wasn't there? Right in the middle that you pointed out. But when it came down to the skirmish at the end, an individual skill, some just reckless plays by Arete meant that it cost them the game.
They were there. They were a little bit reckless on the individual plays. You go in and you say that it's the dodges. Like, why would he really go for the ram there? He
should have just stopped.
He should have just fired or gone for cover or gone with his allies. He went a bit greedy maybe, being a bit bloodlust, a bit focused.
He wasn't even turning his turret during the ram ready for that. That was a big moment in the game.
It was the decider. It could have gone either way at that point, and it went the wrong way for Arete. That does mean it's 4-2.
So it's sudden death for Arete now. They have to win 3 in a row, right?
Yep, 3 in a row.
They have to win 3 in a row, or they're going to be going home.
Literally. That's it. Out of the tournament. This is the round-robin phase, but if they lose 2, that means they will definitely be at the bottom of the group.
The group, and
so
they're out.
They're out. Simple as that. So they have to pull this out. They've shown some glimpses of genius. Getting 2 games against Hellraisers is good. According to their reputation, Hellraisers should have just destroyed them. They didn't.
Well, they are ranked 3rd in the world compared to Arete, who is ranked 2nd from the the statistics.
Statistically, but it's always hard when the Asian cluster is very split out. You've got the Australians, you've got the Asian mainland, then you've got the Philippines, you've got Japan, I think also plays on the same server. They've got all of these guys. It's really hard for them to get practice with the other regions, where the European teams practice with the Russian teams and the North American teams. And this is why you see the Russian and European teams pushing a little bit further ahead, because they practice a lot together, because they're quite close geographically. And it's harder for time zones, for example, for Arete to get up and get to be able to practice with the other foreign teams. So they may be dominating their region, but if you're constantly dominating your games, you're not really getting practices. You say you learn more from a loss than you do from a win.
You do. So we've just seen Arete attack twice. Now they got to defend twice. Does that mean it's a defender's advantage on this map? Or do you think he who dares wins on Prokhorovka?
Well, he who dares won once, and he who dared twice almost won. So I'm thinking that the daring is working out for Arete, and I think they're going to keep the pressure on. But making less rash decisions on the individual players might be the advantage they need to win it. They do look stronger on this map, honestly.
I'm excited to see what setup Hellraisers take for these next two
True.
games.
They are very flexible. We're seeing a lot
They
of
took a
changes.
T-32 and 2 Spearpanzers for the defense. Will they take it for an attack?
Well, now they know exactly what they're going to take. Arete are not changing their lineup. They haven't for the last 4 battles. So I've got a feeling that they're going to go, okay, Arete are definitely taking that. So are they going to cook up this particular lineup that might counter this? We're going to call it the QB lineup, you know, IS-3s and T-32s, heavier lineups to try and counter it. Would that work? I mean, I know we're just speculating. You don't want to put money where your mouth isn't, but you'd turn around and say, this is just speculation. Like, you can be wrong, but
I think that if they don't...
theory.
On T-32s, I think that the T-32s would be very, very strong on this gun depression map, especially to counter this T-54 lightweight meta.
All right, well, let's find out. That's speculation. Let's see exactly what they do. Will Arete do the same again, or have they changed their lineup? Let's go into game and check that out.
Two Walker Bulldogs, so there's the gun depression, and talk more of it in the form of the 2 Spearpanzers as well, whereas we have exactly the same lineup from Arete here.
Yep, exactly the same. There's no surprise there. It's exactly as we expected. I wonder if it's what Hellraiser expected.
I like what Hellraisers are doing. They're going down a part of the map that we have not seen in this matchup yet. They're attacking down the east, and I think that this was something that Arete missed in the last game. They're all up on that ridgeline, all fighting. Get the spots, get the spots, get the spots. They finally know what Hellraisers are doing down the eastern flank. How will they react to this cap rush? Or are they not going to stop? No, they're going to go all the way.
Wait a minute, this could be really good for Arete if they catch them out in the open. They are there's like a beehive.
Yes.
They've been scattered. Dido's first shot kills the gunner and gets tracked. This is a lot of damage, but they get to the low ground. That could be really important. Here comes the charge over the open ground.
They're heavier armored than the Spearpanzers. They're heavier armored than the Walker Bulldogs, but they don't have those autoloader advantages that the Walker Bulldogs have. Can they hold their own? Lucic is down. What are you going to do?
In the back, and Dido goes down too. That's
word.
3 of them down. This is absolute destruction. Arete are ripping Hellraisers from their seats and are taking them out one by one. Christina's still alive. Superbar's still alive. Everyone is still alive.
The health is still only 1,000 in it.
There we go. The first casualty there for Arete, but you're right. There's one. Oh, it's about 50% of their HP. It still could go wrong, as we've seen over and over again. There are too many tanks on low HP here for Arete. If they're not confident enough to use this advantage, they could lose it, and it's slipping through their fingers. Don't let it slip. Arete are going on the ram kill. No, they hit each other.
Take your time, aim your shots.
Here we go. That's, oh my god, Lowu is on very low HP, but still that gun is doing the damage. They got to kill Lowu. He's doing too much damage from that distance.
Look at him missing. He tracks him. He holds him still. Gets his side. Gets his rear. Oh, nice. Look at the mobility of the T-54 lightweight, finishing off the last player on Hellraisers in style.
Oh,
and even a bit of TK damage
at the end. Cheeky.
Well,
they're happy. That shows them happy. When you do that at the end of a team battle, I'm sure you guys do the same. When you're ripping it, you just won, you start shooting each other for fun. They're happy. Arete.
That was their first of their sudden death games.
Yeah.
And they're just having a laugh.
First of 3.
Yeah, first of 3 sudden death games. They've got to get through them. What a fantastic attack.
I cannot believe it. It shows that they are as powerful as they thought. They just had some really bad games to start with.
Their synergy in those all-in tactics are fantastic. What Hellraisers need to do is they need to put the tactics back into it, of the positioning. They need to try and make their tanks count for something.
I think that's what it is. We've got the reverse morale situation. Arete keeping it calm, they're happy, they're enjoying themselves, and Hellraisers getting frustrated. They are an elite clan, I believe. I believe they're like a couple of really good players. And now they're hemorrhaging the games, it's like it's getting worse for them. Their performance is getting worse. They're panicking, they're not listening, they're not cooperating, their focus fire is worse.
Yes.
This might be a snowball effect that Arete could beat them.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
One thing that I was very surprised about is when we saw the T-54s and the LTTBs rush over the ridgeline and catch all of Hellraisers out in the open.
Yeah.
They didn't really connect the shots that I thought they might. There was no connection, and then they just all lined up and they decided, let's go in, boys. And that's where you saw them at their best, their synergy. They love to be in there in the thick of it together.
Do you know what?
And that's what they do.
New theory. They like causing chaos. They thrive in the chaos.
Yep.
We actually saw this from PvP Super Friends last year. They did exactly the same thing. All these professional teams that didn't care about PvP Super Friends because they're just a Southeast Asia team back then. And they're like, okay, let's forget about them. And then they come in and they just split the enemy forces up. They dive in the middle and then they scatter.
Yep.
They scatter. They literally go all over the place. And then the enemy targets, like, they can't focus fire anymore. They're really the European and Russian style of focus fire, kill that guy first, kill that. Doesn't work anymore because they're all over the place. In between each other, they're blocking line of sights and stuff like that.
So how do you counter tier 8 light tanks that are trying to do this to you. Surely a tier 8 light tank with, I believe, 1,250 hit points, if I'm not mistaken. That's quite a lot less than an IS-3, you know, quite a lot less than, for example, a 5100. Imagine if they did this all in engagement against a 5100. It would be a slaughter, wouldn't it?
Can I say something?
What?
Would the KV-5 be viable?
No.
It used to be in the meta a lot.
Viable.
No. Okay, I'm not that stupid.
No, but in all honesty, I think what
But
we're seeing
maybe.
today is that a lot of the 5100s are out of this matchup. We saw
Yeah.
them in the Na'Vi game, I believe. There were quite a few 5100s at the start
Yes.
on Runeberg. 5100s, I think, would be quite strong at countering this all-in engagement that
Yeah.
you're seeing played by Arete.
Less ruse, more autoloaders.
Yeah, like, why would you want to brawl in a Speerpanzer versus a T-54 lightweight? That's your nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
He's heavier than you. He's got armor that can work. Your armor does not work.
And your gun, as you kept saying, is unreliable to penetrate the front armor. And
the
you're going to bounce quite a lot.
And the Speerpanzer takes tons of module damage.
Yeah.
It gets ammo racked, it gets set on fire, it loses its driver, loses its gunner, something
We've
that
seen
doesn't
that.
happen with the T-54.
No, it's a more reliable tank in that way. It's just like a mini cockroach, isn't it? The
Yes.
T-54
Yeah.
is renowned for being hard to kill, and the lightweight is just a smaller version. And that makes it, in a way, harder to kill because it's so low profile. It is lower profile than the T-54 itself, isn't it? It's like smaller.
Could be, yes, it
You
could be.
don't- I thought he would know. I don't know. It looks smaller. I managed to find out one thing
But
you didn't know.
I think
Score.
the counter is heavy tanks. Even high DPM heavy tanks, like the 5100.
Pershing, maybe medium tank, got the good turret armor.
I
Would
don't
that be
think the
able to do it?
Pershing's going to do very well. Maybe
No.
the only thing about the Pershing is you would have the hit point advantage.
Yeah.
And you'd have some gun depression advantage, but I'd like to see some 5100s.
All right. Well, let's see what their lineups are. Let's go into this battle. It's sudden death again. If this goes 4-4, we have our first tiebreaker. That's exactly what you were asking for,
So
Will.
Hellraisers are going into a comfort pick here. They are using, gosh, 2 IS-3s, 3 T-54 lightweights, some Speerpanzers, and T-37 as well.
Same lineup for Arete. They are relying it. But look at that. The fix we were talking about. They removed one of the RUs. And that's exactly what we were talking about.
And they've also moved into 2 IS-3s. So one of the
They're listening to
T-54
you.
lightweights has gone. They're not listening to me. Anyway, so one thing that's very interesting here is that Arete are pushing very aggressively down the east, even though they're defending. But I think what they're trying to do is they're saying, we can win the hill. We can make those IS-3s below us redundant with our aggressive play. And you know what? I think it's going to work. Those IS-3s are going to see the T-54s. We're going to see the LTTBs rush in and crush. They're going to crush the light tanks.
Nesquik goes
They
right
have
to
to
the
get
middle,
through.
tries to survive. He doesn't
They are
survive.
destroyed.
He is completely gone. Lusik is the next target. He's trying to run down the hill to the IS-3s, and they're watching this disaster unfold ahead of them, and there's nothing they can do.
They're down 2 tanks, though. They're down
Wait
2
a minute,
tanks.
you're right, those IS-3s did hit both their shots. It's quite high alpha, that's 800 damage if they roll slightly above average.
And now it's topsy-turvy. We've got one team on the top of the hill, and the team that's meant to be attacking the bases is now trying to dig them out. What are these T-54 lightweights going to do? I have to admit, I was rather disappointed with the impact that ambush had. They needed to kill 3 tanks there, I feel. But they're actually completely even. And against IS-3s on full health with T-54 lightweights, I don't think this is going to work.
Wait,
and I
they need
think
to
this is
commit though.
it.
They need to commit. They really need to commit everything into this. They can't go slowly. They have to beat the DPM here of the IS-3s. Very slow reload compared. They need to focus them down. But look at them. They're hugging each other. They're protecting each other.
Every IS-3 shot counts right now. When you're investing so much into your 390 alpha damage, you cannot afford to miss in your IS-3. They're slipping down the slope.
Interesting. It's because they're
The T-54 lightweights do not have the gun depression to engage them. They want them to come
But they've
after them.
abandoned Nearyu. Niyu's now able to be focused down by the T-54s. They just gave away a tank there. That was an interesting decision.
I wonder if there's some split calling. Also, one of the IS-3s, Kamek, is ammo racked as well, so he's pretty much out the game here, apart from that initial alpha damage that he might be able to put off.
But this is some good down from Monty.
But he's gone. T-54
But he's
lightweight
gone.
flanked him.
That's some
Fantastic play
good
there.
moves by Arete. It's actually looking good for them, but they now have to deal with those IS-3s. Lowu is still in the action too, but he's taken a lot of damage. Lowu's one more shot and he's gone. It looks like Arete are pulling this back. Hellraisers are on their back feet. It is Diodor down to no more HP than 2 more shots maximum from these T-54s. It is gone.
Gimp is above them.
Oh wow, and he's got ammo rack damage. This is the end. It's gone 4-4, the first tiebreaker. 4-4 Arete brought this back.
absolutely fantastic. Now we have a series. This is a series.
The gods are listening. You said before this game, this is exactly what you want to see to happen. You said you wanted to see IS3s.
This is what World of Tanks is all about. Really on the line. And I think Arete have a massive upper hand here. Surely they won the game fastest the first, right? Attacking first?
I think they have to be. They've been always more aggressive with the attacks. So they have to, if they've won at least one attack.
Must be.
They must do. We'll get the information as soon as we can, but I want to bring this up. If Arete beat Hellraisers here, how does it work with the other team that beats Arete?
That's the decider. That's the decider. Oh, good point.
Casper Crew then has to face these guys.
Surely they have to...
Hellraisers and Casper Crews. Is it done by the... I think it's done by the amount of battles you won. So this battle will be important.
Oh gosh, yeah, because these two are guaranteed to be in the sort of the playoffs kind of situation with it. Yes.
I need to check this. I really don't know. But we'll check this between the break, and you and Jingles can talk about it after the break. And I think that's what everyone here has been. I've been seeing this chat go past, and all I can see is Jingles. Where's Jingles? He's behind the camera. He's actually on his not iPad. It's Amazon Fire.
After this game, Jingles will be on for the remaining 4 matches. So don't go anywhere if you're just here for Jingles.
If you're here for Jingles, he's going to be on for the rest of the day after this battle. So if you're a big Jingles, that's it.
So guys, we have Decider. The 4 versus 4-4 matchup is going to be decided on Himmelsdorf.
And all we're waiting for now is who is it? Who is taking the attack or who's taking the defense? Who chose what? I'm not sure if we're going to get that information for you, but...
I'm 90% sure that you're going to choose to defend on Himmelsdorf. Take a heavy lineup.
And as I said, one of the options in Himmelsdorf defense is to break out of the base and capture the enemy's south spawn position. And I think that if Arete get to choose, they'll pick defense and do exactly that.
Yeah.
They're very mobile, they're a very dynamic team. They're not going to want to sit still and defend, but at the same time they want the advantage of if a draw happens and you're on the defending side, then you win.
So also to go back to the previous game that we would, because that was just an intense, exciting game. I think that Hellraisers had the setup that should have won it. I think that what Hellraisers' mistake was is they didn't manage to get the vision through the center. They needed to have a light tank there to make sure that Arete wasn't going to invest up on the hill. And that was kind of a disaster for them, wasn't it?
They outplayed.
The fact that Arete caught them, you cannot afford to have your light tanks caught. That's
a number advantage. It's obvious what's going to happen, and you can focus fire very easily when there's less targets. It seems to me that Arete's captain is making decisions.
He's decisive.
Better.
He's decisive.
We saw one map where on Muravanka, where he was making hesitant decisions. Where it was slow. They would look like.
I don't know. I don't think they've ever been hesitant, because the first 2 games that we saw when they were attacking.
Yeah, it was the
Muravanka,
third game.
They just went straight in.
But it was the third game where they came down, they got spotted, and then he was like, okay, abandon the attack, and he moved back, and then they just petered out and lost the battle. We didn't really know why. They didn't seem to do anything from that point onwards. That's the map I'm talking about, that one battle where it seems like he hesitated. But he's got his mind together now, and he saw those IS3s, and the first thing he said was, we take the hill.
Yeah,
we just take the hill. That's what we do.
The pressure's on Hellraisers now.
Oh, yes, it is.
Because they have a lot of pressure coming into them on this.
Yeah, not only the fandom from the Russian region expecting Hellraisers to be the big threat to Navi.
Navi must be loving this backstage. They must be loving this. Saying,
they're not on the main stage right now, are they? No,
or maybe
watching this.
Or maybe Navi are watching.
They're watching this game.
Watching Arete and going like, oh, how are we going to deal with this reckless aggression in their Soviet light tanks?
We don't normally deal with that. We normally sit back and play our tactical, slow game.
Where they kind of get round people. They get round people and they outplay them. Are they going to be able to get round and outplay a whole rush of Soviet light tanks?
Didn't we say that the only reason Elon was not doing very well was because when they did that rush, when they made the decision, they were just a bit too slow in their decisions. Just a little bit too slow. Arete are not that slow. So maybe they have the winning formula right there.
Maybe they do. Maybe they do indeed.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
Also, one thing we should point out is that probably a lot of people out there on the stream are probably thinking, they're just rushing in. They're just rushing in. The thing is this is a team game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all about how you can synergize with your teammates. And I think there's probably just as much skill in that from what Arete are doing as what the other guys are doing.
Tactical ones. If you are good enough, and imagine this in your random game, right? You have Quickie Baby and his team of Unicums in a random battle. They can go in, cover each other, and do all this awesome things. Even in the middle of the open, or it looks like it's in the middle of the open. It looks reckless, but they know there can only be a certain amount of tanks in certain places. They can know that so many guns are facing certain directions, and they totally outperform. And
I would
attacked.
actually take it to a whole new level. Say you were playing against a team of Unicums that were all playing solo, and they were trying to play solo, and they didn't have that synergy. And say that you were just like, you're an average player, and you go in and you go aggressive with your friends, then you're going to be able to take down anyone. You could take down anyone with it.
Have you ever had someone who shouts in all chat like, "Oh, this is lost," like 20% win chance?
Oh, it's
and
like-
then in the first 5 seconds, all the Unicums enemy team would die because they've just done something completely on their own.
Yeah.
And then you win it, and it's like, haha, that guy who's on all chat, you're just like, yeah, you know who that guy is. And don't do that.
It happens in the tank companies and also the team battle mode. I mean, the kind of level that I play at cooperatively is nothing compared to what these guys are playing at. But still, if you play with a good bunch of guys, have got a pretty good skill at the game, but you work together better than the opponents, then it doesn't matter if their win ratio is higher than you, their WN8 is higher than you. That was the previous games. This is this game, it's this game and how well you can play and synergize in this game.
Everyone out there has probably already noob metered me, like checked my stats out. I'm not the best player in the world, but my team last season got won before best league in the ESL because although we're all green players, none of us are Unicums, we worked well together and we were able to get there. Even though we didn't stay there, let's be honest, we didn't win anything, but we got there. We were better than half the other teams at least, and we're all greens. Everyone else we met were purple. Everyone was purple. We checked them out afterwards or before the battle. We check out their stats and go like, everyone is better than us doing this ESL league. Everyone. But we had solid tactics and good teamwork. We wasn't panicking, screaming at each other, and we won a fair portion of our games. We got there. So everything you're saying is totally true. If you can do that and also be a Unicum good player, then
you're Navi.
Then you're here. Then you're here.
Navi.
It's both. It's a combination of both of them. It's the way you cook the pie. Is that a good analogy?
I think it is.
You've got to build it up.
Is.
I like pie. I'm hungry. Do you like pie?
Pie's great. Yeah.
I like bananas too.
I like bananas. I've got banana down here from breakfast. I'm ready for it. When do I get to eat?
After this battle, before Jingles. Okay, it looks like the next battle is going to be starting anytime soon. This is the decider. This is the one that decides whether Hellraisers are between their legs or Arete are literally out of the tournament. This is a big decider. 10 seconds left. I'm nervous. I don't know what I want to happen. It'll be a massive upset. Let's go. Let's find out. Himmelsdorf, here we go. We do have Arete on the attack.
35100s now for Hellraisers. Maybe they thought that they were going to pick T54 lightweights and they've taken those 5100s to try and counter them. But we're seeing a very balanced, even team.
32s. I've not seen those guys on Himmelsdorf in a long time. Oh my god.
Basically, the only real difference here is that Hellraisers are taking an extra 5100 and Arete are taking in an extra IS3.
I am not sure how this lineup will work out. It's very even. The 12-ton. What do you think of the 12-ton pick here instead of maybe a Bulldog?
Gosh, that's not a Bulldog though. That's
T20,
a T37.
T37.
That's a T37.
People said that Jingle's going to say the names wrong. I just went ahead and
for
did
an
it.
all-in engagement, you
T37.
always want to be in the 12T, but you don't really want to be in that single shotgun for short, bursty engagements. The 12T will, if he can connect all of his shells, will kill the T37. But the T37 over the long engage tanks, and it looks like we're seeing Arete finally deciding where they're going to put in the attack, and it's going to be along the north. But they still have quite a few forces spread out along the central map.
Oh, Gim takes a big shot in the side though, and his ammo rack was hit. That's horrible luck for
the reactions on that shot as well. He would have just been spotted. He would have literally just been shotted. The reactions were fantastic on the front man there.
They predicted exactly where he was going to be. They pre-aimed and they just clicked the button as soon as they saw him. The reaction time there must have been instantaneous.
So, is Arete planning to put a light tank into the cap towards the southwest?
I think they are. You know that position I said, but Nesquik is going to spot him. There's no way he's going to be able to do that, although you did say if he did a one-on-one in an open field, he should be able to best Nesquik.
He can't miss a shot.
He can't miss a single shot.
He has to penetrate all his shots.
Well, hopefully we can see that battle going on if it decides to engage. But it looks like we've got a full defensive formation here for Hellraisers. T32, talk about this position. This position is fantastic. This position here is superb. Yep. Explain why.
Oh, the T32 is the strongest turret at Tier 8, so it's the strongest turret in the competition. And when you get that hold down, can the 12T make plays here? He missed a shot. This is a big deal. He can no longer kill him.
But Avenfor was running away. You're right, he knew he couldn't win that fight.
Yep.
He was intelligent enough to go, okay,
he's
wait a
gone.
minute.
Well, his
Return
friends-
force came around
It's all
the
in.
back.
It's all in. They're going all in. They decided the 12T's, the T37's gone. Let's go for it.
But it's not enough. Gimp is already down. Superpad down to 2 more shots. Vibe is already down to 895 HP. They are in horrible trouble, but the flank might be able to save the day if Lucy can go down. Yes, he does, but Superpad's down to 1 hit. Cal Thief and Vibe and Christina need to get in that corner and kill both those tanks in the next 5 seconds, or Arete are out. Look at the HP difference, 5,000 to 2,000. This is not good.
That was a wrecking. What we just saw there is what 3 5100s do to 2 5100s. There was just simply nothing that they could do when they had that extra 50% firepower.
The dream
compared to
is
Arete.
over. Arete got so far. They were so much down. 3-0. They were down. The dream was alive. They got to this breaker. No one in the fandom of the CIS region would have thought Hellraisers would have a tough time against Arete. 4-4. And I'm sorry to say that Arete is now out of the Grand
They
Finals.
gave it a good go.
Wow.
They gave it a good go. They took it to Hellraisers.
They
there.
took it. They raised hell against Hellraisers to do the puns. And I'm now disappointed that they're not in this tournament. I kind of like, well, they want a second chance.
They're exciting, weren't they?
They're
Gosh, well played to both teams. That was a fantastic series.
No one team played worse than the other. They just played different. Very different styles. I think that if Arete had got their act together earlier, they might have done this. If they didn't take it to the decider and they played, let's just put it honestly, really badly in Muravanka. If they just did a little bit better in Muravanka, I think they could have taken the series.
That's
they
true.
were way more dominant on the second map on Protkovka.
But what we just saw there on Himmelsdorf was it just went perfectly for Hellraisers. They had almost, the teams, they can't see what each other are picking when they're picking their tanks. They almost had a perfect counter. They just set those 2 heavies up in those windows, and they thought, okay, we know where the IS-3s are with this spot. Let's just set our 2 heavies there with their turrets, and they can just slow them down as they're coming, and that allows our 5100s to make the counter play. And 2 5100s with their autoloaders, their 100mm autoloaders, 100 potential damage. They can even miss a shot and still kill the enemy 5100. And when you take that and you make it 3, they only have to hit 10 shots out of 18 to be able to kill the opponents.
And it is as long as they make sure the enemy split like that, and exactly as the mathematics show, it was a decision game. They knew where to put the tanks via the amount of damage they could put out. They knew exactly what they had to do, and they did it. And they did it flawlessly. It was perfect.
I think it was a reckless push by the IS-3s over the hill along the northern flank. But we've been seeing reckless plays, been working for them in the previous few games.
But
I
not
think,
on Himmelsdorf.
I think that Himmelsdorf is very much a linear map. There are alleyways. You can only progress so fast. They split their forces up.
Yeah.
And that was it. They lost that synergy that they had together when they were walking as a unit.
If you do split up on Himmelsdorf, you are split up. If the enemy decides to just walk at you, whichever direction you're coming from, and they catch you, and that's the key, they catch you, you're done for. You're split. It's 7 guns or 6 guns against 4 or whatever the combination you've done. Himmelsdorf is so built up, as you said, lanes. And if you are on the other side, on the hill, and in the open, well, you're not going to help each other, are you? And with 3 5100s, any force smaller than themselves, they were going to win, unless they missed all their shots, which just isn't going to happen on Himmelsdorf. 5100s just have the damage and accuracy for such a small map.
Yep, simple as that, really. Just, gosh, fantastic series. Absolutely fantastic series.
So let's have a look at the group, the other results that are going on. I believe the other game finished behind us. Elon Gaming also played theirs. So for our games on our stream, it's been 5-0 and 4-5. And I cannot see Group C's result as Elon Gaming went against RG. See, Elon could actually be out as well. If Elon had lost their game, they're out as well.
Gosh.
So
yeah.
if we can get that result, that will be absolutely fantastic.
We don't know what the result was from the other stream. Okay, well, we're just going to have to get that result later.
Yep, and you know who can tell you what the result is? The mighty Jingles. And I know you guys want to see him. I know you're fed up of seeing me and hearing me. But don't worry, these two will be able to have a play and talk about everything that's going on later. And in fact, I believe the idea was that they're not going to even turn off the stream 4 hours or whatever. Do it live. They're going to sit here for 3 hours, is it?
Gosh, must be. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
3
have like a
hours.
50-minute break.
Maybe
but
they'll
guys,
have a break.
if it's a 5-0 game, then we're not going to have another 45-minute break like we previously did have.
No. So this is actually, just to let you know, this is the first time that I've actually met Will.
Yeah.
This is the first time. I'm actually surprised with just the way we talk. We've talked once before. Do you remember? I'm going to call you up on this. Do you remember the one time we talked before? Not in real life, on the internet. We've only once met online. It was in a stream chat. It was one of the WGLs or something like that, and I mentioned something that he had said on his stream, and all he wrote was, "Ouch, Dorjan." That's the only thing you've ever said to me before we met
You're
yesterday.
obviously trying to call me up on it then, weren't you?
It was just something like, at the time, you hated the 742 format, which you're totally valid to do. It was a very slow format. And you're
Why
like,
have the tier 1 tanks?
Yeah, they were okay. It was just a band-aid to a much bigger problem. But the T1 tanks were not a problem. This is just a lot better. I
Okay.
will defend that till the cows come home. But I didn't... 742 needed the improvements. I was definitely one of the vocal people saying that we need to go to assault mode. It's fun that we made that jump. But it's really nice to be able to have met you in person and see what you're really like behind the scenes. And
Oh, great.
surprisingly, he's a very quiet man, very reserved. Like, I'm like this off the camera and on the camera. Like, seriously, I am this guy. This guy's not the same at all. He sits back and he's relaxed, and I'm talking to him and he's like, yeah. And then he's like, I promise you, when we go to the stream live, then we will be able to, I'll be more active. Don't trust me. When we go live, I'll be really happy. I'll be really energetic. But right now, I'm just relaxing. And
This is a
completely
holiday for me.
opposite.
This is relaxing. Gosh, I get to stream this fantastic event. I'm a guest. It's wonderful to be here. It's a pleasure.
It's fantastic having you. It really is.
Oh, great.
So, I think we're going to cut to a break because I see our lunch on the other side of the camera. They want to come and bring it to us, but we're like, hey, hold on just 5 seconds.
Yeah, we're kind of still on live.
We're still live with you guys. But I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed the commentary and you can have the comedy relief, comedic relief.
We'll be back tomorrow anyway. You and
be
me,
back
we'll be
tomorrow.
casting again tomorrow.
I will be back with Jingles later. And again, today's the first time I met Jingles. Not yesterday, today. I didn't actually find him yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. But I can't wait to see you over the next few hours. So to a quick break and see them after the break. Don't go anywhere.